All right, so I don't know if this will work at all, but I'm just going to give it a try. So here's my idea. Let's do some spectral graph theory. So I'm going to take a graph and I'm going to compute its Laplacian, and then I'm going to compute its eigenvectors, and then I'm going to draw it. That's kind of a lot, but maybe it will work. Let's see. So step one, I guess I'm going to need Numpy if I'm going to make a graph. I'm sorry, if I'm going to make a matrix. And I'm going to import, what should I import? I need a graph, and I know a good way to get a planar three-connected graph. I think I called it, yeah, let's try to generate polytople. I think that's what it's called. And in there, I have a method that gives me a graph. So that's kind of cute. It's a little bit of a cheat if you think, but that's what, I'll at least get us started here. So I think this is the function. Let's see, at the n, let's see if that runs. That runs, okay. And oh, it shouldn't have worked, of course, because I didn't say what n was. Let's print g.v. And I'm not getting any output, so let's try this. Command, all right, good. All right, so it says that doesn't work. Should be, yeah, let's do that. And it doesn't know what that is. I'm guessing this, I need to specify where it is, okay, and now it works. Okay, sort of works. I think, let's just see what those vertices are. So that's, okay, a graph on 4 vertices. Awesome, we're doing great, right? Now, I want to take this graph and I want to compute its Laplacian. So I need to make, first I'm going to just make a matrix that's all zeros, and then we'll just iterate over the vertices, put the degrees on the diagonal, iterate over the edges, put negative ones off the diagonal. Shouldn't be too hard. So I'll start with just zeros matrix, and it's going to be of size n by n. So g dot n is the number of vertices, and I think we'll want to do something like the following. In this case, since the vertices are going to be just the numbers from 0 to I can just use them. And so let's try this. For I in g.v, and then for j in g.v, we can go through and just use the definition of the entries of the Laplacian. So remember, if like I equals j, we're going to put the degree there, and if it's not, we're going to put a -1 if it's an edge, and otherwise it's going to be a 0. We can actually just leave it alone in that case. So those are the only two cases. All right, let's do it. If I is equal to j, then I want to just set this one, ij, to be equal to the degree of I. And if they're adjacent, so if I and j are adjacent in the graph, then we set Lij equal to -1. And I suppose I could also set the other one as well, but I think I'm going to get everything if I do this. Let's just see what happens. Can I print L? What do I see? Okay, so this is a matrix. It looks like a graph Laplacian. As I look at it, I see two degree 3 vertices, 2 degree 2 vertices, and everything looks okay. So I think we're all right. So there's my graph Laplacian. And now I want to compute its eigenvectors. I guess I can do this if I want. First I have to, well, I'm tempted to just show you the wrong way first. So if I compute eigenvalues and eigenvectors, I can do it with Numpy like this. I think it's something like this. Right, that runs. let's print the eigenvalues. Oops. Let's print them, just see what happened. It looks okay. It looks okay. What if I did a bigger graph? Like 20 vertices. It all worked out okay. So I'm hesitant to do this because, you know, if you just have a matrix and you compute its eigensystem, this is like maybe the right way to do it. But really, this is a symmetric matrix, so I should be using the special method here, H, that is for Hessian matrices, Hermitian matrices, so which knows that since it's symmetric and real, or if it was complex, at least in Hermitian, then the eigenvalues should be real. And so I won't get any complex numbers by accident from round-off error. I'll get, every time it does this, it gives me a new graph. So, but I got different eigenvalues. It seems okay. I'm just going to go with it. So I have eigenvalues, eigenvectors, and now I just need to draw a graph. Drawing a graph. I got to pick out the eigenvectors I care about, right? So maybe what I'll do is just slice those out. So these would be my points. What I'd really like to have, maybe this will be all right. Let's just make a list of with those eigenvectors. So if I took them, I think what I want to do, if I remember how this works, is I take my vects and I take everything, and then I want 1 to 3. If I want to be more explicit, I could also just say, like, I want columns 1 and 2 here. All right, so all the rows, columns 1 and 2. Because that eigenvectors, that vex there is a matrix. It's got like all the eigenvectors in there. So I just want those 2. And let's make sure that's the right thing. I think that's right. Oops, it's a property and it's parentheses. All right, so it's a 20 by 2 matrix because I had 20 vertices up here. All right, so now if I were to pick out any one vertex like P3 here, that's going to give me the coordinates for P3. And now I want to draw the graph, and I'm going to totally cheat here. And I'm just going to import from this other package something that will draw a graph. And let's go viz graph. Okay, and I guess I need some more stuff, which you probably don't care too much about, but it's important to be able to draw something. So let's get a canvas to draw on. All right, and let's make a canvas and then draw on it. So here's how this works. I'm going to do C equals canvas, and the canvas, I'll make it like 500 by 500 pixels, and then I'm going to make a graph, a graph that I can see here. I give it the graph, and then I tell it where to draw the vertices, which is P. And I draw it on the canvas. And then I have to take the canvas, and I'm going to, like this, what you're seeing right now is actually output into kind of an HTML format. So I can do an SVG out. And I think what I'll get is, yeah, okay. So this looks ugly. And the reason it looks ugly, like everything is like piled up in the corner, because I really should scale out my vertices. It turns out it built this graph. If I actually looked at the coordinates again, you would see that they're all like within like this little ball of 0, 1. So, so I need to just rescale all my points and try this again. So thankfully it's easy to do this. I think I can just say something like P equals P times, how much bigger do I want it? 250. Let's do 225 plus 250. Is this a crazy thing to do? Ah, there it is. And then we have a graph. And if you look at it, man, that's not bad, because the graph was just given abstractly, like it didn't have any of the geometry in there, and it drew a pretty okay graph. Let's do a big one. Let's do, I don't know, 20, let's make it 120. Ah, I need to make this bigger so we can see this thing. That didn't help. Why didn't that help? Even bigger. Let's make it even bigger. I'll scale this thing up. So every time I draw it, it'll give me a different one. And these are all looking pretty okay. I think around the edges, you probably would find some crossings, but it seems like not too many. So somehow this spectral embedding does a pretty okay job. And I think like in the 70s, it was the first person who tried this conjectured that it just always gave a planar embedding. I'm not sure what kind of graphs he was working with that he thought that. It's not too hard to come up with examples where it goes horribly wrong. But there it is. So that is spectral embeddings in the wild. And you can do this. It's pretty common for a bunch of different problems. And you can imagine that once you have an embedding, you might be able to see structure. You might be able to slice and dice it, do decompositions of the graph, clustering in the graph, etc. So hopefully that was fun. And we'll see this kind of visualization again when we go on to Tutt's algorithm, and it'll turn out that spectral embeddings, in a way, are the first motivation, or are at least intimately related to the kinds of embeddings we're going to do with Tutt's algorithm. Because in that case, rather than taking eigenvectors, we're going to solve a sub-Laplacian system. So stay tuned for that.